This is Late Night Health. This is the radio and internet video show that cares about the most important part of your life. During the next, 7 to 10 minutes or so, we're going to spend some time with Dr. Greg Celaya, who is going to tell us about Hashimoto's disease, or a thyroid condition that is really becoming more and more prevalent in the United States. Dr. Celaya, welcome to Late Night Health.
Mark, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
It has been, and I take all the blame. I just have not been available, but I am back.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Tell me about Hashimoto's disease. What is it?
Well, Mark, it's an autoimmune condition, and I've done my fair share of videos on thyroid. And if anybody's interested, they go to YouTube and look up my name or even my website and look at the videos. But I just see it so frequently. It's time to do another video on it.
What are the manifestations of it? In other words, if somebody has it, how do they, or a primary care physician such as yourself, know that how does it manifest? I mean,
well, first off, Mark, it's a thyroid condition, and it's an autoimmune thyroid condition. So your body has attacked your thyroid gland enough that eventually it's not producing the thyroid hormone that it needs to produce for your body. In other words, your body's eating it, right? And
wow.
So it's not uncommon that a patient will just kind of stumble into it, meaning they go in for just their normal physical and their doctor runs a simple lab and determines that they have a thyroid problem, and it grows from there. The other portion of people have different symptoms. You can get tiredness, fatigue, cold hands, cold feet. Sometimes they lose the outer 1/3 portion of the eyebrows, dry skin. You feel cold when it's not necessarily.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make light. You can lose your eyebrows?
Yeah, you'll see the outside portion of the eyebrows start to come off. So look around next time you see people. Look at their outside portion of their eyebrow.
I will. That's interesting. I mean, with Graves' disease,
Graves is a little different.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it in people around the eyes.
Yeah,
right?
It's exophthalmos. It's a little bit different. So,
right.
But it's not uncommon that you see the outside portion of the eyebrow gone, and there's muscle loss, muscle weakness. You can have hair loss. So, trouble concentrating, feeling down or depressed. You have a hard time getting out of bed, or sometimes your face is even puffy. Numbness and tingling, in your hands or feet. I know all these symptoms. I've had it. So,
oh my!
What the thyroid does is basically you're not producing the hormone that your body needs to have metabolism. And it's not uncommon sometimes that people have an increase in thyroid hormone as the thyroid's being destroyed. And then eventually you don't have enough thyroid to produce the right hormone that you need.
Let's take a look at how you as a functional medicine specialist would treat that compared to a traditional doctor.
And one of the first things that we do is we look at lab testing. We look at it a bit different than most doctors. Without getting crazy into what each lab test does, most doctors run what they call a TSH, that's thyroid stimulating hormone, and it is the way that your brain communicates to your thyroid. They look at free T4, which T4 is inactive thyroid hormone. They look at total T4, which is inactive thyroid hormone bound to protein carriers. And then they look at T3 uptake, which is looking at the thyroid binding globulin, which is a protein that carries the thyroid hormone. Unfortunately, and I'm seeing this every day, and that's the reason we're deciding to do this video. I just got off a consult with a patient, and they really had a fantastic thyroid test done by another provider, which I was very surprised because I don't see it frequently. But one of the things that people have a hard time understanding is what we call reverse T3. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
I have not.
All right, so T3 is your active thyroid hormone. Your thyroid produces 93% inactive and 7% active. And I don't know if it makes sense to you, but you don't want a lot of active thyroid hormone all being secreted from your thyroid gland right here, right?
Right.
But then the surrounding tissues metabolism is crazy. So your body then takes the inactive hormone and converts it into active hormone so the cells can use it, right? So that's called T3. I know this may get a little crazy.
Right.
So reverse T3 is very interesting because reverse T3 looks just like T3 in a way. So in other words, let's say this is T3.
Right.
This is reverse T3. We're not switching. Here we go. This is reverse T3. They look alike, right?
Right.
And they may fit inside the same receptors of the cells, but reverse T3 doesn't work. It's not an active thyroid hormone.
Got it.
But it can take up the receptor site that T3, the active thyroid hormone, binds to. So what that means is that your body isn't really effectively getting thyroid hormone because this reverse T3 is taking its place. Does that make sense? Did I
It does. Yeah, no, you did that well. It's a little over my pay grade, so I need to understand it a little bit more. If you have this, the reverse T3, so the body thinks it's getting the hormone, but it's not doing anything.
Bingo, bingo, you got it.
And then it produces more because that's what it thinks it should be doing.
Well, it might not necessarily produce more T3.
Right.
The reason we see reverse T3 a problem and why most doctors never, ever run the test, I rarely ever see it done, is because of adrenal problems. So your body's pretty smart. Your body has different ways of running itself, but if you have high adrenal issues, your body's starting to run itself off of adrenal, cortisol, different things of that nature, right?
Right.
So you end up running your body off of adrenals, and I'm kind of really simplifying it.
Yeah.
It starts to slow down the thyroid because you can't have both going at the same time. So a patient might feel tired, the eyebrows can't get just don't feel 100%. Can it be reversed? You said at the beginning of our time together that you used to have it. Well, it's an autoimmune condition, and an autoimmunity means that your immune system is attacking that tissue part. And so the thing with autoimmunity is once you have it, you always have it. You just have to learn how to tame it and deal with it and make it so your autoimmunity doesn't go to the next tissue to create a problem, right? So you have a 70 to 90% likelihood of going and getting another autoimmune disease because most doctors, they don't run the right test to find out what's causing the thyroid problem. Another thing that they rarely run is T3, the active thyroid hormone. And we do it to understand how we're converting from the inactive to the active thyroid hormone. There's different things that help us convert. And if you don't convert, you're not getting the right amount of active thyroid hormone.
And so in our remaining moment or two, what can a patient do to alleviate the symptoms and normalize the body as best as they can?
Well, in this case, if you don't look at an adrenal issue, you're never going to fix thyroid. And adrenal issues can be caused from so many different stresses. But let's say, for example, there's this one patient I was talking with today. It's possible that they have infections. And those infections cause an adrenal problem, and hence, therefore, they may have a thyroid problem as a result. And they'll never tame that immunity response because they're not looking in depth and detail. They're just covering it up by taking medicated thyroid hormone, right? So they're not fixing the problem. They're just treating the symptom.
Got it. And you would treat the problem rather than the symptom.
Well, you have to treat the symptom in this case, but you have to look further to find out what the problem is. You can't just leave it to treat the symptom and move on. And that's where most doctors do. They go down that path, or they just say, your numbers look right, and therefore you're fine. So it's in your head. Who knows?
Got it.
But you got to do the right test to determine if it's a true thyroid condition or an adrenal problem or a conversion problem.
Well, we appreciate your information on Hashimoto's disease. If you want more information about Dr. Greg Celaya, you can visit him at drcelaya.com, drcelaya.com. And if you go on the website, you can actually sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. Correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a deal you cannot afford.
By the way, Mark, if anybody's interested more in thyroid, I have a 7-part thyroid series. It's free. Just go to my website. There's a pop-up. You can sign up for it. You'll get a new video every other day. The videos are a little crazy because there's a lot of information in there. You may have to piecemeal it because it may get overwhelming, but you'll get the information.
That's terrific. I should mention that Dr. Celaya is a functional medicine specialist. Again, thank you for joining us here on Late Night Health. I'm Mark Allen. We will see you next time, and we will be talking about chelation on our next episode. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.